Namaste and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narasimhan, and ladies and gentlemen, we start with the CNN News 18 exclusive. Pakistan is feeling dumped. It is now being treated as a pariah and strategically irrelevant. And this is not what I'm saying here. This is what is evident from this letter that we have accessed here at CNN News 18. This is Kurtzia Investigations editor Manoj Gupta, an exclusive letter that we have accessed and a big mega exclusive that we're going to start with. This is dated the 27th of September 2021. This is the big exclusive, 27th of September 2021. It's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Islamabad, Pakistan. And this is written to the ambassador. Ambassador who at the bottom? Ambassador Dr. Asad Majid Khan. He is the Pakistan ambassador to the United States. This is where it is, Pakistan ambassador to the United States. This is the letter written by who? Written by Shah Mahmood Qureshi. What is he saying? What he's saying, and I'm going to read this, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan expresses its concern over the inability of the Pakistan Embassy in Washington in creating an environment to facilitate the diplomatic communication between the office of the Prime Minister of Pakistan and the President of the United States. Remember, Imran Khan did not go to the US because he didn't feel welcome. Imran Khan made just a vitriolic video message which was panned left, right and center, and the first Secretary of India to the UN was enough to respond in equal measure and put Pakistan, the anarchist and the arsonist, in place, which was trying to pose as a firefighter. But this is the concern. Ki hamara to mazak kyun ud gaya? That's what he's trying to say. Read this further. He says, in spite of the existing situation in Afghanistan and the key role played by Pakistan, it is unfortunate that White House remains indifferent to Pakistani leadership. White House is indifferent to the Pakistani leadership, is what Shah Mahmood Qureshi has written. Then he says, the Prime Minister's office has taken a strong view to the fact that despite all efforts by Pakistan to establish a healthy line of communication between White House, it is unable to see a meaningful reciprocity. So it's a Biden snub to Imran Khan, which is very, very evident. But more importantly, it says this portrays the diplomatic overtures of Pakistan in poor light, which unfortunately remains at the mercy of immature understanding of the White House staff. So they're trying to call the White House staff immature, but clearly they're feeling the snub and the pinch of it. The last line is very, very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. You are thus expected to take adequate measures in ensuring that enough diplomatic steps are taken to guarantee the strategic relevance of Pakistan. Strategic relevance of Pakistan, that means is Pakistan feeling that it is strategically irrelevant? Is it feeling dumped on the global stage? Is Pakistan currently feeling that it is a pariah to the world? The patron of terror, pariah to the world. This is the big exclusive that we are putting out here. It's a big thing, ladies and gentlemen, for Shah Mahmood Qureshi to write the letter to the Pakistan ambassador to the United States that, listen, what is happening? Nobody is looking at us. Nobody is talking to us. Nobody is wanting to meet us. And we are being strategically irrelevant. We need to be strategically relevant. Our overtures have not been welcomed by the Biden administration. This is the letter that we have accessed. We are putting out this letter in full. And if you can cut to this, this is the whole letter, ladies and gentlemen, in my hand. This is the whole letter. We pull out a bit and we see it's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, 27 September 2021. And it's written by Shah Mahmood Qureshi to Dr. Asad Majid Khan, who's the ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, United States. So the Pak envoy getting a dressing down, saying कि भाई हमारा तो फलूदा हो गया, इज्जत मिट्टी पलीद हो गई हमारी, we are irrelevant. We have not got any response, favorable response from the Biden administration. And compare that with what happened and what we saw unfold in the United States vis-a-vis India. So for a Pakistan to try and equate itself with India is not happening. they are strategically irrelevant. And perhaps, ladies and gentlemen, it is this desperation that they are now pariah, they are now unwelcome. This is what perhaps has led to the kind of acts of cowardice that we witnessed in Jammu and Kashmir yesterday. There are people who are being arrested, but the fact of the matter is that a Beti of India, a daughter of our country, first responded and put in place Imran Khan at the UN, and today the daughter of a 68-year-old pharmacist, a doctor herself, a professor herself, she, the daughter of this country, has turned around and challenged these cowards. Can you drop your stones? Can you drop your guns? Can you stop stabbing innocents and shooting innocents on their back? Can you stand here in front of me, face me, and debate? Can you do that? You don't have the gumption. I do. That's what ML Bindru's daughter has gone ahead and told these cowards, these terrorists.
Whoever is the person who shot my father dead, Mister, come in front of me. The politicians gave you guns and the stones. Come in front and fight with education. He will never die. You can just kill the body. If you have the guts and courage, come in front and have a debate. Have a face-to-face debate with us. ये हूँ मैं, मेरे बाप की बेटी.
So there is a vendor, a Golgappa wala, who is shot dead. There is a businessman who is killed, and there is a civilian who's gunned down, a doctor who's gunned down. So 3 attacks which happened between Srinagar and Bandipora. It is led by somebody who belongs or who's a proxy of the Pakistanis, has ties with the Lashkar, and there are 5 people who have been arrested so far. Investigations are still on, but these murderers, these cowards will be accounted for. Every single Pakistani bullet will be counted. Every single life that has been taken of innocents will be avenged. But more importantly, those who are trying to spread this Hindu messiah, those who are trying to deliberately derail the progress and the entire road to a Naya Jammu and Kashmir, they will all be called out. But most importantly, Jammu and Kashmir is standing up, rejecting. The daughters of Jammu and Kashmir are rejecting terrorists. They are rejecting Pak proxies who are slowly and gradually and increasingly becoming irrelevant to the entire discourse. Where is the human rights lobby? Where are those who are quick to shed crocodile tears is another question. The silence is deafening from all those quote-unquote Chunavi Hindus who will wear their janeus come election but forget to even express condolence or stand with the families who are losing their lives to these Islamist forces in Jammu and Kashmir. Those questions remain. But let's try and understand the desperation. Why these terrorists are murdering innocents now? There is a desperation to derail the peace process. Plans to scare away non-Muslims and outsiders, which stands crushed. Prime Minister's rehab package for Jammu and Kashmir Pandits. Over 3,800 families have come back. There are moves to reassure Kashmiri Pandits. Temples have been renovated. There is a property portal, and the process of handing back these properties and lands that have been taken away from them forcefully has already begun. There is a clearly Pakistan is rattled by the welfare moves and Vikas moves in Jammu and Kashmir. Their entire attempt to try and stoke trouble falling down, and this letter shows that they are feeling strategically irrelevant. ISI and its machinations is coming a cropper, and this organization is trying to send its puppets, its proxies to try and create an atmosphere of bloodshed in Jammu and Kashmir, it's not going to be allowed. Jammu and Kashmir will stand against these agents of terror, these agents of the enemy, and they will be cracked down upon. LOC infiltrations have been reduced, drugs, arms hauls, huge busts which are happening, which are denting all the efforts which are coming from the other side. Tourist footfalls are rising. There is a spurt. There is a big spurt. And also a huge amount of engagement between the center and the state administration. All of this is resulting in a certain level of desperation, and is that desperation showing is what we are asking. And with the regional developments in Afghanistan, are the Islamists trying to get a little emboldened? We call out the cowards tonight, but first let's go across without much further delay. We have Mr. Siddharth Bindru, son of Dr. M.L. Bindru, joining us. Dr. Bindru, thank you very, very much for joining us this evening. Your father, a very, very tall figure in the Kashmir community. What would you like to tell us about him and the many, many decades of service?
The legacy he created was of originality, selling medicines, and it's very easy to sell medicines, but to create a legacy out of it is when you start selling quality for many generations. Our family has been into this business in Srinagar for almost 3 generations now. And there was a time when the availability of medicines in Kashmir was not up to the mark, and my father would ensure, even if this situation was not right, that people of Kashmir would get original and on-time medicines. It was a time when medicines in pharmaceutical companies were not much in number, and shortages would mean end of life. And he would ensure, sometimes even flying to Delhi at his own expense, at a time in the 90s when air tickets were very costly, that he would give it to people. And the legacy, another legacy he created, was the love and the respect he gained by making personal relationships with every small young boy and an elderly man. He was friend to all. And there is not even one person in Kashmir who would be not sad today after his killing.
Very rightly said, Dr. Siddharth, because I know I've been there, and they said कि Bindru साहब से है तो you can trust it. And my own colleagues have trusted you and your family, your father, for generations now. Your sister earlier in the day made some very stirring statements. She's earned praise across the country. Everybody has stood up to applaud her spirit. It's gone viral. What do you have to say? What is your message?
It's a shock for all of us, and we have lost not only only the father, but a legend man, a man who was the strength of the society, and it's very difficult to live without him. But let me tell you, it's a loss not only to us, it's a loss of the society. And I would like to give a message to everyone who's listening, that by killing such a person, you do not create positive news for whatever movement it might be used for. When you kill a person in whose funeral about 2 hours back in the cremation ground of Hindus, Muslims came to pay obedience to that, and I've never heard of it, never seen it, then where is the message of divide and trying to create a news? I think the only message that should go among the people should be that it's time that you stop doing these acts, because you cannot kill innocent and nice people in any part of the world and create hatred among people. No, it's going to work otherwise for you. And how we will live without it and how we will deal with this situation is, everybody is afraid. Everybody in the valley seems to be afraid, and most of all the people of minority. My request to the people of majority is, yes, it's your job to protect the minority wherever you are. They are trying their best, but I think something more needs to be done, because this is not the first time this has happened in Kashmir. This is the 5th or 6th time. This is the 6th life we have lost in almost 2 years, and it's become too easy now. All you have to do is to ask one of the stooges to go and hit someone who's busy serving people and create news. News has become so cheap to acquire in this part of the world, that all you have to do is to kill a person of the minority. And something needs to be done. It has to be changed. It has to be taken up by the higher authorities and by the public as it is. You know, when the people of
Yeah.
Kashmir will start condemning it, it will become a taboo for the
Yeah.
people of wherever it is being planned, and they'll think twice about doing it. Has there ever been a shutdown in the name of the killing of a Kashmiri Pandit? There has been instances when there have been shutdowns when people claimed some civilians were killed by the army. Today I would like to ask my brethren, and they are my brethren, actually they are the people of Kashmir, and if Mr. Bindri was killed and you loved him, I would request, please, can you do a one-day shutdown for him? And if such a message is given in by people of Kashmir that we will not accept this type of killing to create news, I promise you that such instances will stop.
Very well said, Dr. Bindru. Very, 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 very well said. Let me just ask you this. Your message to the Kashmiri Hindu community.
I always talk to my father, and he used to say that I might be one of the very few people, but I represent the whole community. So let me do all the good deeds that our community used to do. So he was a representation of what Kashmiri Pandits stood for. They were nice, they were hardworking, and they were genuine people. They still are, and that's why the appreciation has come. And my only message to the people of Kashmir and Kashmiri Pandits is that thank you for the support, but I would also like you to request you that please enhance his name, his legacy all across. And to the people of Kashmir, I would like to request that you need to take a very comprehensive step as to condemn this. It has not to be in the form of Twitter and Facebook alone. You need to do something about it. Maybe something that you can do, that the people, that the 1% minority that lives with you, that loves you, can stay there.
True. Finally, my final question to you, Dr. Siddharth. Your message to the proxies, puppets, those stooges who are acting on the enemy's behalf.
I don't think they will be watching the program. They've already have done what they've done, and I don't think they're literate enough to watch the program. So I don't think they understood English also. So I will not give them any message.
Very well said. Very well said. That is one tight slap that you are delivering. Thank you very, very much. Our deepest condolences, and we stand with you. We stand by you, and we stand with every other citizen of this country who are standing up and who are turning around and rejecting the terror that is being sent across and the Pakistani-sponsored bullets that are trying to claim and trying to create an atmosphere of bloodshed. Now, this is the answer. This is the answer Dr. Siddharth Bindru was looking for, and we have it. This is coming in from Srinagar. There were protests all across Jammu and Kashmir through the day, but this is a candlelight vigil at Lal Chowk. Aakhir kab tak is the question that's being asked at Lal Chowk right now, even as we speak. There is a candlelight vigil, and there are chants of Bharat Mata Ki Jai, and there are people who are standing out and saying, enough of this bloodshed, we will tolerate it no more. Kashmir, let us unite is the message that's come through, but these are the visuals coming through of candlelight vigil. Right now, even as I speak, there are more and more people from Jammu and Kashmir who are sending me messages while watching the broadcast saying we are all standing with Mr. ML Bindru and all those who lost their lives and their families. Nobody should be killed. We have had enough of this, and we need to put an end to this violence. I've got multiple messages, plenty of footage and visuals coming through from all across Jammu and Kashmir. This is just Srinagar, and this is in Lal Chowk, ladies and gentlemen, where people are standing up and saying this is not going to be tolerated, this will not be allowed anymore. Let's take this further. Let's go across to our panelists. And even as we speak, we have also accessed the pictures. Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the BJP with us. Lieutenant General KJ Singh, former General Officer Commanding in Chief, Western Command with us. Danish Manzoor, Editorial Director, Asia of IBT is also with us. And Amit Raina, Spokesperson, Roots in Kashmir and Kashmiri activist is also with us. And as we speak, we've got the first pictures of the person who's seen to be allegedly the mastermind, and because of whom, after whose arrest, 4 more people have been arrested. This is Bilal Ahmed, and he is said to have connections. Bilal Dar, the Kashmir killer. News 18 has accessed the picture, and he's the man who killed Muhammad Shafi, the president of the taxi union. Now, this is Bilal Dar, who has been nabbed, and 4 others have also been nabbed. These are the pictures that we have accessed. Danish Manzoor, Amit Raina, and Sanju Verma and General KJ Singh. As I come across to you with these pictures, Amit Raina, incidentally, and what an irony, that all those people, they all have Kashmiri Hindu surnames. Vani, Dar, Bhatt. They're all second, third generation converted Kashmiri Hindus who are now turning around and pointing the bullet again at innocents.
I think they are out to prove their loyalty more. Since they are the neo converts, they are trying hard to prove their loyalty towards jihad. But what is worrying, Anand, is that every time there is an attempt by the community or by the government to resettle Kashmiri Pandits back in Kashmir, you see killings of Kashmiri Pandits. Whether it was the Vandama massacre, Nadigaon massacre, Sangrampura massacre, or multiple killings which have happened after abrogation of Article 370. And that is what is worrying. What is worrying more is that it is something a repeat of 89-90, where you went and killed a Kashmiri Hindu, a Kashmiri Pandit, and then labelled him as a Mukbir, as a Kafir, as an IB or a Rao stooge. Yesterday, a Bihari man, a person from Bihar, was killed who had travelled thousands of kilometers to earn his livelihood, and a Golgappa man was labelled as an IB man. So it is a clear message to rest of India, to Kashmiri Pandits, especially after Government of India and Jammu and Kashmir administration has tried to get back properties of Kashmiri Pandits back through the complaint portal, where properties which have been encroached upon, which have been illegally occupied or constructed upon. It's a message, and most of those illegal encroachments have happened either through OGWs of separatists themselves, or terrorists. And it's a clear message to Hindu community, Kashmiri Pandit community, don't even think of coming back. We had a killing of Kashmiri Pandit last month in Kulgam. Before that, we had a killing of a Sarpanch. We had killings of Ajay Pandita. We had killing, and most of them are not people who had left Valley after 1990. They had stayed back. So for 32 years, if Mr. Bindru was not an RSS stooge, suddenly he becomes an RSS stooge because government decides to get back the properties of Kashmiri Hindus which have been forcibly taken away. So it's a very worrying trend, and that's what worries me.
No, and not just that.
And as Mr. Bindru rightly said,
the fact is that they're like I said, one of the aspects is they are not willing to drop their Hindu surnames. But they have this rabid hate for Hindus and people in the region. So either drop the surname or realize where your roots are and stop doing this. It just stuck me.
No, I will somewhere blame the central government.
Yeah, please.
Anand, I will blame central government also for this, because you cannot hide jihad by calling it a development issue. You have abrogated Article 370,
Correct.
35, a great, brilliant step. But we abrogated it because there is a jihad which is being waged against the country. It is a route to Ghazwa-e-Hind. And you cannot hide it by calling it development. If development would have been an issue to tackle jihad, then we have not seen bombings and killings in France, in UK, in America, in Europe, in Australia. You cannot tackle jihad by development. There is enough and extreme radicalization that has happened to the society, and there is no work which has happened on de-radicalizing the society. So while they may sport the Kashmiri Pandit surnames, the truth is that today they are out to prove their loyalty to jihad much more than anyone else.
And then the fact is then the Kashmiri Hindu community should turn around and say, don't use these surnames, because Bhatts are Pandits, Vanis are Pandits, Dars are Pandits. They are all supposed to be learned. They are supposed to be educated. These are cowards who are only picking up stones and guns, and they're all, majority of them are drug addicts. So it's an insult to the surname also. It is an insult to it's an insult to the lineage also. Let's start taking positions and start calling what is born out of hatred, born out of misya. This is Hindu hatred, and this is radical Islam which is at work. And Sanju Verma, somewhere one has to agree with Amit Raina when he says, don't try and give it the shroud or paint it on the cloud of development. Development is not the real issue. This entire aspect of jihad and radicalization is, and that should be called out.
You know, Anand, first and foremost, I would like to pay my respects to the family members of ML Bindru, who unfortunately died at the hands of terrorists. But I'm glad that there is a chalk which will be named after him to remind people that you can kill the physical, form of a person, but not the spirit within. Having said that, coming to the more important issue, I agree with Amit Raina when he says that, development and terrorism need not necessarily be linked. Where I disagree with him is the fact that we have never said that development is the only route to tackle terrorism. It is one of the methods which will bring down terror in the valley, because there is a section which believes that unemployment, poverty have been one of the key reasons why youngsters have chosen to solidarity with terrorists rather than doing something productive with their life. But the fact is, don't forget, you can be dismissive about abrogation of Article 370 and Article 35A, but the hard numbers suggest that
no, they're not being dismissive. They're not being dismissive,
No,
Sanju
I know,
Verma. They're
I know,
also
I know,
saying
he's
they're
not-
also
I
saying
did
that you realize the importance and the need to abrogate the 370 and also to
Anand,
try
let me complete, please.
and 35A, because you realize that how critical the entire issue of radicalization and jihad was becoming, and it was going to become a huge issue. We would have lost all of Jammu,
Anand,
Kashmir
let
and
me
Ladakh had that
finish,
not happened. Bear with me, please. I'm a
Anand,
little
let me at least make my point.
I'm a little
Anand,
pressed
this
for
is not
time.
fair.
Sanju
Let
Verma,
me
please.
finish.
Sanju Verma, I request you to please complete in 30 seconds because I need to get General KJ Singh and also Danish Manzoor in. Yes, complete.
Yeah, thank you. Anand, only thing that I'm saying, I'm not saying specifically with respect to Amit Raina, but there is a lobby which believes that Article 370 and Article 35A being revoked has really not done much in terms of bringing terror down in the valley. There is, all I'm saying is hard numbers say stone pelting incidents
Yeah,
are
but
down
see,
by more than 89%.
I agree.
and terror
Nobody is
incidents are down by more than
disputing the numbers, Sanju
67%.
Verma. People are saying you are looking at the actual numbers, but has the thought, has the radicalization and the hatred actually in the minds, has that been addressed?
Anand, you have to at
General
least,
KJ
if
Singh.
you keep
General
interrupting
KJ
me,
Singh.
you
General
keep
KJ Singh.
interrupting
Sanju
me,
ji,
how
please
am I
bear
going
with
to
me. I'm
make my
pressed for
point?
time. I'm pressed for time. Please bear with me. So, General KJ Singh.
Anand, firstly, let me also start by paying homage to late Makhan Lal Bindru, and let me praise the brave daughter. A couple of years back, we heard Colonel Rai's daughter echo such sentiment when she asked, "Kete GR ka hoy ke hoy na," and that resonates across India till for now, still doing. So the statement made by Smriti today, Professor Smriti, and the brave words of Dr. Siddharth will resonate for many years. And allow me to say that after 2 years, Pakistan is indeed worried. Situation in Valley is returning towards normalcy. Home Minister is supposed to visit that place. Between 23rd and 25th, there is going to be a cultural festival. Darbar move has been stopped from this year. Connectivity is being restored. So these are desperate acts. While I sympathize with Mr. Raina, but I would like to say that it is a multi-dimensional solution.
Yeah.
Security is doing its part. Theologically, efforts are being made. More can be made. But General Kashmiri is not with them. He is under pressure.
Correct.
So let
So-
us have patience. And
No,
give
and,
the
and not just that.
government
Let more Kashmiri Hindus get back home. Let more Kashmiri Hindus go back and stand there, and let the people of Jammu and Kashmir stand together and against it in unison. Danish Manzoor, final word. Apologies, I'm a little pressed for time today.
Thank you, Anand. I think what happened yesterday, the entire Kashmir Valley, in fact, the entire Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, everybody feels gutted with this. The Bindru family, that pharmacy was more than just a pharmacy. But what happened yesterday, most importantly, also points to one thing, that this new hybrid terror modules that have come up in Srinagar especially, the way the current terrorist organizations have handed over these short weapons, pistols to youngsters at this juncture, and how they can go and kill at will or at the orders
Right.
of their people sitting across the LOC. This is something which really is worrying, and this trend needs to be curbed at this juncture. We have seen that the infamous murderous blog clearly had listed out these things, that they were worried about the inflow of Kashmiri Pandits back to Kashmir. And these people were on a target. So somehow somebody also needs to call out the current security setup and the government that for the failure of protecting Kashmiri Pandits and citizens by
Fair
and
point.
large
Criticism
from these terrorists.
rightly mounted, and let's hope they crack down in the next 24 to 48 hours. I apologize to our panelists. I've got to cut this short. We've got a very special broadcast lined up right now. I have to go straight across to it, but we will take this issue of Jammu and Kashmir forward in the coming days here on The Right Stand. Stay with us for the Modi Model Part 4.